our first is one we love to ask. What is a time in your career where you feel like you failed? And sometimes people feel like, oh, nothing is really a failure because you can learn from it, which I think is a healthy mindset too. But take that question however you'd like. And yeah, there's an experience you'd like to share with us. We'd love to.
So one example that just comes to mind immediately is, we were talking earlier about feeling like when you're in school, you're on a track. And, you have an interest in something, there's specific steps you need to take to get there. And then you get there and it's awesome. And you're going to be fulfilled and happy and everything's going to be magical. When I was, again, doing fashion, I thought at one point, maybe working in a museum or doing something where I was, curating these beautiful gowns from Dior or what have you. And so I thought that would be this amazing job. And I think a lot of times, putting myself in that perspective as a student, you don't know what a job's going to be like until you do the job. And you often romanticize that job. At least I do. I tend to think of this perfect scenario of what it is. And it may not be at all what you think it is. And so when I did my first costume museum internship and I was alone in a vault picking bugs out of an old dress, I was like, what am I doing? This is not at all what I want to be doing with my life. And so I was like, there's got to be a way, in hindsight, there's a way to apply that interest and that joy that I have for craftsmanship and design in other ways. So was it a failure? I mean, yeah, I thought it was frustrating to think that I had gone so far in my schooling and I wasn't going to do, what I thought I was wanting to do. And it's hard. You take that personally, or I do take it really personally. Like there's something wrong with me that I don't feel like this is right. But if it doesn't feel right, go with your gut. And for the career that I have now, I'm really, really glad that I'm not back in that vault and still doing that and took a leap of faith. So.
Well, I think I can speak for many, many people when I say that we're also glad that you're not in that vault. Yep. Not only because of all the amazing things that have come from your work, but just the person that you are and how inspiring I think you've been to so many people and showing them that there's more than just the traditional path that oftentimes we think is laid out for us, and to just sort of expand our imagination of what's possible. So we have really appreciated you sharing that story with us, that it wasn't always like that necessarily, but to see where you've come from that is amazing.